Hi, I'm Faye, and this is my way of keeping myself accountable in the trip for Japan. I forgot to erase that stuff, just forget you oversaw it. We're on day 40, which means we've been doing this almost a month and a half. Our fundages have not changed, as you may have seen a second ago. Our word for today, or our phrase I should say, is ogenki desu ka, which means how are you? That's ogenki desu ka. Our steps for today, where's my watch at? We are up to ooh, 11,054, which is not a bad amount at all to be on. We did not do any additional exercise apart from pushing around a stroller and trying to control an extra child at the same time. Doesn't really count though. Today, I have a fun one for us today. So, our location for today is part of Tokyo. It is Odaiba, which is an industrial island or a man-made island, which I love the hell out of these things. We have one around about half an hour that way, somewhere around there. Sorry, need to remember which camera I'm working with. So it's over that way ish. Now, these places are always amazing, if for no other reason than the science that goes into what they are. Because you need to have so much infrastructure set up so these things don't just sink or bob. Because it goes one way or the other. So, Odaiba is set up to be this retro futuristic style place. And I know that's a weird thing to get your head around, but it's basically like they want this place to look like what we thought the future would look like 20 years ago. God, no, I mean like 35 years ago. I do not mean the 20 years ago wasn't even the 90s. Fuck, I'm old. Existential crisis aside, there are also some pretty dope stuff there. So, outside of just this damn aesthetic, which honestly, these buildings, well, not so much these because they look pretty normal. This looks like something straight out of anime. I'm pretty sure that if it wasn't part of, there's something that looks just like it in Digimon. And I know I bring up Digimon far too much in this, but screw it. This is my series. I'm allowed to bring up things I like. As for uh places to go, there's one thing I want to see there. Like, there's plenty of stuff that looks cool. There's one thing I want to say. See, and god damn it, the picture came out tiny. Uh, and it's this. This is a life-size version of a Gundam unicorn, which to date is one of the biggest pain in the ass models I've ever made. Uh, and the sad thing is, that's the easier version. I will not move the harder version because it breaks. I will break down. On top of that, they have a. I'm just going to be chucking a bunch of photos up today. They have a fake version of the Statue of Liberty for some reason. Odaiba is just such amazing chaotic energy, and it's like somebody decided to take their ADHD brain, get all of the little facets of it, and be like, hey, this is one place. If you don't like it, deal with it. Ugh, it's so great. So, for those of you actually interested in it, that giant Gundam is at Diver City, Tokyo, Tokyo Plaza. Um, it is also a shopping center, but let's be real, you're going to see the Gundam. I could not tell you for the life of me where the fake Statue of Liberty is, because that is just. On top of this, though, they also have a miniature world called Small World Tokyo. Sorry, Small Worlds Tokyo, which is. If at some point I could get a miniature city made up, maybe not the 1/80th they've got, like maybe 1/20th, that I could just stomp around pretending to be a giant monster, I could die happy with that. Genuinely, there is so much more I want to do in my life, but I could die happy with that. But yeah, we're gonna move on from that. There's also a bunch of things like the big side is there, which is where we have a bunch of the biggest events in Tokyo. Well, biggest nerdy events at the very least, which is going to bring me to the event side of things, such as Anime Japan is there, not at the right time of the year though, which is very disappointing. In fact, in Odaiba, there are no major events during our window, which sucks, but it is what it is. Pardon me. We have nothing in the ship we need to get category, though I have checked. We do not need any immunizations. Don't need them. Apart from the ones we should already have. If you don't have those shots ready, be an adult. Just because your parents were doesn't mean you shouldn't. And if you disagree with that, tough shit. Wrong channel for you. Food. There is only one food that needs to be brought up for this place. Like, there are some other great foods that you can get here. There's only one that needs to actually get brought up. And that is the fact that Odaiba, these guys get so much respect for this. Odaiba doesn't just do great takoyaki. They have a takoyaki museum. If you don't like takoyaki, sorry, can't be friends. Takoyaki is by far my favorite food that I've ever tried that is Japanese. I actually had some today because there's a new bento style place. Bento isn't the right term for it, but it's the closest I'm going to be able to give. And I'm like, yeah, they've got takoyaki sitting in the window. Let's give it a try. It was fucking excellent. It always is excellent. But that's going to do us for today. We should be back this time tomorrow, hopefully a little bit earlier actually, because I would like to be able to get to sleep at a reasonable time for a change. But with that out of the way, I've been Faye, you've been awesome, and I'll see you all tomorrow.